Hey guys, wanted to give y'all a kind of a what for and how is on how I did my pallet firewood storage system. The whole point of these things is to make them as cheaply as inexpensively as possible. So kind of just went about it this way, and I'll kind of explain from the ground up so you can kind of understand how I did it. So starting from the ground, you always want to keep your pallet off the ground as much as you can. And initially I just did the four corners, but in retrospect, I would have gone 9 bricks per pallet, so you could do the top, the bottom, middle, sides of always. So, 1, 2, should have put another brick there and basically follow that in the middle and the back side. So I pretty much joined 2 pallets here. So you kind of follow that. If you're just doing 1 pallet, that would be fine. If you're doing another one, you can kind of share the bricks and follow that pattern all the way through. So kind of talking about how I did the side, the backs, and the walls. I just basically got a pallet and stuck it straight up. So if you're doing just like a 1 pallet style deal, that'll be fine. You'll need to find a way to join the sides of the pallets. So coming back here, you can just take a section of wood like I did right there just to screw things together. You can kind of see how I did that on the way back. And let's see if I can see the other side. And that'll keep your pallets, as relatively square as possible. Speaking of staying square, you'll find that that'll be very hard since pallets aren't really made to do anything other than hold stuff on top. So kind of getting into a little bit of that. So initially when I started off, this 2x4 right here is an 8-foot 2x4. I initially put the one that I'm now storing underneath this system right here and found that I needed to go with a 10-foot, and that's what these are. I would definitely go with 2 more feet, especially if you're doing 2 of these things joining together than you think you need, because that will allow for some wiggle room in whatever you use for your top pallets. So I found that was very beneficial because I couldn't find a pallet combination that would work or fit, or otherwise it would just look kind of jankety. Not saying that this is something I'd want to live in, but let's face it, you're storing firewood. You're not, storing, or this isn't a structure for any living being. So anyway, the way I did it, I definitely wanted to do kind of a pitch to my roof. So I had these spacers, and once I realized this wasn't going to work, I just laid my 10-foot 2x4 horizontally right there, and did the same thing down here. I would always, try to use screws on stuff like this. You'll find they're infinitely better at binding things than nails. But anyway, that's how I went about kind of making my roofing system for my pallets. So the great thing about a roofing system here is that my neighbors had these pallets and a couple of these sheets of metal roofing that they were kind of scrap on their project. So they were kind enough to let me use it on mine. So that's exactly what I did. I've never laid a metal roof before. I probably aren't that great at it, but I think this will stay on relatively well. It's probably gonna take a significant amount of wind to blow these off. So the way I went about doing this is I took a punch that I had and basically just put it on my angle grinder that I used to trim off some triangular looking pieces that you see right here. I just took a simple hammer and punched through. That way I didn't need self-tapping screws or anything like that, so I could just use whatever screws I had. So with that, I was able to kind of put together the roofing system you see right here to give the whole thing a decent pitch on a roof. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So here's one of the unintended consequences of it. Here we are in late February, and we're already getting wasps out. Hey, it's been I think the groundhog lied this year. It's 2023, by the way. Anyway, it gave me the ability to store some of these Tposts and 2x4s. And because it's a pallet storage system, I'm able to store my malt here along with some other assorted, fire starter related stuff. Some kindling here, and that's one of the cool things about this system and the pitch of the roof is that I can store things like this right in there. So that keeps them out of the weather, out of the rain, and kind of one of the cool unintended consequences, kind of like I've done with this 8-foot T-post right here. So anyway, guys, I just want to kind of show you how I did this. I hope you found this helpful. So anyway, if you like it, like and subscribe. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them for me in the comments. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. The last thing I am is a YouTube star, so I typically have pretty good turnaround and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, hope you found it helpful. Thanks.